Most Canadian municipalities are facing the same pressures: more people, a widening gap between housing supply and demand, and runaway infrastructure costs. Low-rise neighborhoods like this one are in high demand, but soaring demand is pushing prices out of reach in most neighborhoods in Canada. Our solutions empower planners and decision-makers, providing strategies to unlock low-rise infill, all while balancing the books and creating stronger neighborhoods. Municipal planners can forecast housing demand, but knowing how infill developers will respond, what gets built, or what might drive infill housing away before a project even starts is usually a hopeful guess. And without accurate insight and market data to structure planning decisions, performers tip into the red, properties sit underutilized, and the right housing doesn't get built. We designed BuildingIN to fill that gap. By reverse engineering regulations to achieve your housing goals, our simulations provide the blueprint for what kind of development will get built, where, and how fast. Here's how it works. We assess your existing regulations, simulate outcomes by calculating the proportion of parcels likely to receive infill and in what forms. Next, we layer in fiscal and emission impacts. Then we work together and choose regulatory levers to test and see how they change the simulated outcomes, iterating until we have a clear picture of the planning changes that will get your municipal regulations aligned with your goals. Instead of low-rise properties receiving unaffordable mansions or sitting empty for years, planners can create the conditions that make the multi-unit low-rise buildings your municipality needs and wants into the most appealing projects for developers to build. What's more, it's always better to build on already serviced land, freeing up municipal budgets for crucially needed projects and initiatives.
As an architect and professional planner, I've worked extensively with both developers and city planners to conduct site assessments and advise on development potential. I design infill housing while navigating planning regulations, municipal processes, and building codes. There's nothing like doing it every day to understand the barriers to getting homes built. This practical understanding is what grounds my team as we study, test, and then reverse engineer form-based zoning. As industry leaders, we merge that real-world knowledge with simulation, mapping, and 3D modeling, the missing middle, so city planners can test multiple regulatory scenarios. Would you like to be able to anticipate the response from the housing industry to see if new regulations actually meet your goals? For example, will 4 or 8 units per building translate into real housing construction? Want to see a forecast of future densities, unit types, or tenures? Would you like to understand if infill will or will not make neighborhood streets more socially dynamic and inviting? We model developer responses so you can plan with confidence. Plan which neighborhoods are primed for infill, where to funnel neighborhood investments to support growth, how to craft regulations so that infill becomes the urban catalyst to make your neighborhoods even better. Our simulations map not just anticipated housing, but fiscal uplift and emissions reductions. It's a complete picture, allowing planners to see whether their reforms will meet housing goals, all before going through the pain and hassle of your next bylaw update.
Instead of building out or building up, it's time for BuildingIN. If you're ready to embrace missing middle reforms, we'd love to show you what's possible. Review one of our previous projects or get in touch for a simulation of your own. Let's plan with certainty together.